2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, can't be.
My name is Karena. This is Shanae. And we are building strength by moving off-grid. Become part of this story on Patreon and read our private blog. Sponsor a square meter of the Enough Garden and watch it come to life.
4, 5, 6 roosters.
Uh-oh.
Wow. Yes, we were talking about you. Which one we're going to take? Who's next?
This is
This is
first
the one. Yeah, we're going to slaughter this one. This one is old.
Hey.
And we only need one rooster. The winner that's going to be staying is that one.
That one.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. These are our chickens. We love them very much. They've started giving us eggs, and now that they're getting older, we can see that we have 5 or 6 roosters. It's looking like 6 now out of the 14. So, we're learning to butcher. There's actually 5 main reasons that we are going to butcher our own chickens. The one, and probably most important, is that it's cost effective. Because our goal is to build a nonprofit for ourselves and eventually a foundation for our sport for development programs, we need to find ways to do things as cost effectively and as good, like overall health and just good natured as possible. Tonight, we are preparing to do something that we've never done before. We are going to kill one of our chicken friends.
Yeah.
Leave me, that's so harsh. That is what we're doing.
We are harvesting it.
That's a nice way of saying it. Yes. So tonight, one of these roosters, we believe we have 6, will be sleeping by himself so that tomorrow he's isolated and won't have anything in his stomach when we... Yes. Neither one of us have done this before, so a little nervous, a little unsure what it'll be like. But we both believe that if we're going to eat it, we should not only know where it comes from, but we should be willing to do the work that it requires.
Yeah, it's like Justin Rhodes say, it's like you are taking that responsibility of slaughtering the animal on yourself because you are going to eat it. I said, like, we are very disconnected from our food these days. I think you appreciate it a lot more than also when you eat it, and you're less likely to waste food then.
Yeah. So we've experienced that already just with the eggs and the spinach and small things that we've gotten already. So it's the next logical step. And if our future vision is to build a sustainable community program, we need sustainable ways of getting all the food. That's the real idea of being self-sustaining, is that we know how to do it, the people we're working with know how to do it, and we find nice, humane ways as possible to have meat and food in the long run. So,
yeah, if you think of it, at least these chickens had a good life. They had amazing food always. They had space to roam and scratch and be happy. Unlike the chickens that you get in the shop that sat in a small space and was just fed water and feed in front of it 24/7 with lights burning. Yeah, that's not the life.
yeah.
And that's not what we want to contribute to.
And that is where most of the meat does come from.
Yeah.
So at least we know our chickens have a nice life.
Yeah.
They get to touch the earth and they love us until the end.
The roosters don't love each other anymore.
They are getting to the age where they're fighting, so that is one reason why we know it's time.
We also have 6 roosters and 9 hens, and it's mating season, and it would be very cruel of us to keep the roosters around because they will definitely get injured being mated by so many roosters.
That's true.
So we are going to only slaughter 1 rooster now because this is our first time. So emptying its crop for 24 hours before slaughter. We still have a knife to go sharpen. So the process of this is, they say when you turn the chicken upside down, it actually sedates them a little bit, and then it's hanging. You can either put it in a cone to make it feel snug, because that makes them feel secure too, or you just hold them around their body, and then you take it below the jaw and you just give it a quick slice on the main artery, and they say they don't really feel the pain, and they were half sedated, and with holding them tight they felt secure in that moment too, and then it's done. So we don't know how to gut as well. We've been watching Justin Rhodes' educational videos on how to do that. Sorry, it's getting cold now. So we have an idea, but this would definitely be a practice round before we do the rest, because then there's 4 more to do.
We moved the chicken tent under the shade so that during the day it won't get too hot. So that is where the chicken will be. Probably later tonight, once it's dark, we'll go get the oldest rooster and go put him in there. The chickens are finding their home for the night. So we've laid the cardboard down. We'll put some leaves on top. Back there, Shanae put 2 cinder blocks with some wood across for him to roost tonight.
Oh, we're gonna have to clean this out again.
Right.
You see? Yeah, looks pretty good.
Alright.
Let's go get a chicken.
This is where our chicken will be in a little bit. Tomorrow, we're going to do the deed. Now we know we don't seem like the type of people who'd be able to do something like this. And a lot of people are very shocked that we're even going to try. But there are 5 main reasons why we're going to butcher our own chicken.
Number 1.
Number 1, it's cost effectiveness.
I did some costing, calculating in the amount of feed we feed the chickens and what we get from them. If you are growing your own broiler chickens, which are your meat chickens, that works out for organic meat. Just taking the price of a normal store like Pick and Pay works out 36 Rand per kilo cheaper growing your own and harvesting your own organic meat chickens. I think we worked out egg wise, it works out 5,000 Rand of savings in eggs per year. Yes, that was the calculations, yeah.
So that's like $300.
Yeah, so that's about $4 a chicken cheaper.
Yeah.
And that's not even to mention that you can use all the byproducts of the chicken too, which you don't get when you buy a store-bought chicken.
That's true.
Yeah.
And the cost they save in working here.
Yeah.
In the soil.
Even if you take the guts of a chicken, it sounds gross, you take the guts of a chicken, you can make a maggot bucket, which will feed your chickens extra protein and bringing down your actual feeding cost too. So that's a cost saving. So if we are looking at building an NPO off-grid, those are the type of cost saving elements we are looking at when building a non-profit off-grid.
Yeah.
Bringing our expenses down.
Yeah. Building this non-profit, REN Off-Grid, is really the whole reason that we're here. We originally started our sports programs in a big slum in the city, which is expensive, and the programs that are surviving there cost a lot to run. And a big part of that is food. And when there's protests and things going on and you can't go to the store, you can't get food. So, in our minds, long-term sustainability means doing a lot yourself, as much as you can yourself. And through our sports programs, teaching other people to do the same.
Reason number 2 is
soil health.
So, for the past 3 months, I had about 14 chickens on our land here. We tried 2 methods. Karina,
I dug out a 16 by 16 meter square, which took a couple weeks. Not digging every day, but
just over a month.
It was a lot of dense,
about
thick
this deep.
clay.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we did lasagna layering. Then I planted some cover crops on it to try and repair the soil. That's method number 1. Method number 2 is making use of the chickens to fertilize the soil, scratching the soil, loosening the soil. And over the past 3 months, starting from rock hard clay, we can now put the fork in about this deep. It's nice soil. We've seen earthworms come back in that area. So the plan is to plant in those 2 areas and see the difference in vegetable quality and harvest quality. The 2 different methods that we're doing. If I did not have the chickens, I would have had to put in my own man hours or pay labor to come and work the soil like that. Put in a lot of amendments which cost money. But we've had the chickens, they enjoyed it, we enjoyed it. It's a win-win for all.
It's not really a reason for why we're butchering it, but that's a reason why we kept some of the males.
Yeah.
So they would grow up and
Work,
and then we eat them.
Yeah. The other reason was just looking at our health.
Yeah.
So you're looking at being able, so the feed that we feed our chickens are non-GMO, organic feed. This farmer grows his own feed from non-GMO seeds. They don't use pesticides. So looking after your chicken's health is ultimately looking after your own health. We want to know where our meat comes from. We want to know that it was not injected, that it didn't have antibiotics and all of these things, which research have shown contributes to disease and cancers. So we can't fight against that anymore, especially the nitrates that they push into meat to keep it fresher and pinker for longer. So a big part for us is knowing where our meat comes from and looking after our own health too.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Think it's important to go back to maybe a simpler way of doing things so that we're more in control of some of the smaller things and you know exactly what you're eating. Which, the more we think about the food that's coming from factory farms and stuff, it doesn't make you feel very good. And in the long run, we don't know if we want to eat that for the rest of our lives. Reason number 4 was efficiency. I think that was tying into the soil health, that we were using them for multiple purposes.
Yeah, and the cost effectiveness.
Really the reasons tie together.
All of them tie together, yeah.
Yeah. What was the 5th reason?
I can't remember.
The most important one.
Oh.
The 5th reason is that it's empowering to grow your own food. And a big part of why we wanted to make the move ourselves and why we want to do this alongside sports programs is that it makes you feel good. It's uplifting. It's empowering to be able to do things yourself and know that you can.
Yeah, I think just looking at slaughtering itself, my father always asks me, why do you have to slaughter the chicken? Ask someone else to do it. And I always feel like that still makes you dependable on other people. If that person is not there and you need to slaughter, you don't know how. So to me it's like being able to stand on my own 2 feet and look after myself too, and not always have to look into someone else's eyes to help me with something that I am able and capable to do myself. And
Well said.
I also think it has a mental health impact when you take care of something. Like taking care of the chickens, it has a good mental health impact because you get to touch the soil, you take care of something, you mean something in that animal's life while it is alive, and then when you do slaughter it, it really grounds you and brings you back to reality and circle of life and nature and all of that good stuff. Yeah.
Do you think you'll feel sad doing it?
I will feel sad, but I feel sadder having a chicken on my plate that I know had a horrible life in horrible conditions. That makes me sadder than having to slaughter these chickens. It also makes me sadder having to say goodbye to someone dying from cancer because of what we are consuming these days than having to slaughter that chicken. That's how I see it.
Yeah. This water comes from my grandparents' farm. I think it was probably my great-grandparents were the ones that actually got this. I brought this back just now on this trip. My grandfather was a chicken farmer, but it's like big broilers, like chicken houses of chickens, which is not what we want to do. But I think it's interesting that his nickname was Chicken because he was a chicken farmer, and now we have chickens, and it seems like something that we will keep doing as we grow old. Alright. Isn't it fitting that this is what we're going to use for the first ever chicken that we're going to slaughter?
Yeah.